balanced. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the teams were balanced. I would have like screamed and
Yeah.
Madness and Sparta if they weren't, but yeah, they're balanced.
Yep. So here we are now, finally in a battle arena. Everyone get excited. We're gonna be looking at picks and bans as per usual. Let's see all the OPs get denied.
Jax Kale, a band that I don't see very often anymore. Rengar. Did you see the Reddit post about how Korea or NA's gonna win Worlds because they know how to shut down Rengar apparently?
What? They
Yeah.
know how to shut down
Well,
Rengar.
For Rengar, all you have to do is just invade his jungle pre-6, and he is easily countered.
I get that, but it also requires NA to invade the jungle and deal with
Yeah,
a
you're not gonna
enemy
want to
jungler.
invade the jungle for Korea.
Yeah, that's they know how to, but in practice, because I have seen NA try to do that a few times, and it's pretty much a sloppy fest. And I'm pretty sure when Korea knows that there's some movement in their jungle, they're just going to collapse and completely punish for that. So, you're not wrong. But on that note, are you going to be able to do it? So, a lot of OPs banned. Tristana is seeing some bans, and I don't mind that. She's really safe marksman.
But Tristana, like, if I had to make a tier list of solo queue right now, like, who can carry the hardest to who can carry the not, I'd put, like, Orianna, Kassadin, Yasuo, Tristana, and Master Yi in the top 5. Not in a particular order, but... Oh, he's gonna hover Jungleheimer because I was talking about the GSG game earlier.
Yeah. But can you do it?
But can you do it? Are you gonna pull a 9-minute inhibitor off?
That sounds unlikely.
For most games these days, you don't even see a 9-minute outer turret.
Yeah.
Especially in solo queue.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of people on the same page to pull that off, including everybody. It's like, you jungle Heimerdinger? What such troll? No, please don't. My face. I can't.
All these details about Worlds are coming out today, and it's pretty
exciting
because that means it's coming up soon.
Yeah.
It's coming up sooner than expected, but Xerath
being
the lock-in for Tsunami, and Santana is going to be picking Jungle Diana, it looks to be.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, I forgot one thing. I forgot to throw this there. Yeah, oops. Took forever, and I forgot to put the T-Force Battle Arena thing over.
Oh, man.
Ah, man.
Come on, what are you doing here? Soraka hover over.
Bad.
Yeah. Lee Sin's gonna get locked in, most likely a jungle Lee Sin. Everyone knows what Lee Sin does. He is a menace, especially in those in very capable hands.
For sure. Lee Sin's very strong. And I'd say Lee Sin and Jarvan and Vi. I'm just gonna go back to the Rengar thing because people are probably gonna ask about it at some point. How I said you can counter it by invading his jungle. You just take a champion that's strong in the early game because Rengar has no reliable escapes. Besides his ultimate, I'm gonna say your name wrong all night long just because I can. Tsunami. But
yeah.
If you take a jungler that is strong levels 1 through 8, you just invade the jungle. You take like a Jarvan or you take a Vi or
Elise.
Elise is a good one too. Why doesn't the podcast show up as live on Twitch? I thought it would. I always have to find it through the search menu. That's weird.
Yeah, it's peculiar. An easy way to do it is just follow us.
Follow the stream.
That way, whenever you search through all of the wonderful Twitch channels for League of Legends, you'll just have it to your right, ready to rock and roll. That's normally what I do. That way I know whenever all my favorite channels go live. Like the T-Force podcast.
Yeah.
We could
And
probably use a title update too.
I did change the title.
Oh, apparently then my computer's terrible. Never mind.
You might hold on. Let me pull it up because it's been funky like that too. With me changing the title, it doesn't like me.
Ah.
So does it say? Should say yep, it says NA Battle Arena for me. Is Xin Zhao a counter? Xin Zhao's debatable. Like, he's a strong low yellow pick, but once you start to get higher up, he's not as good. Because people just realize, oh, he can only go in and he can't go out. So,
Yeah.
it's just coming down to the champions that are strong, that are the ones that can go in and out. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Xin Zhao is an interesting champion. I'd actually prefer to play him top lane over anything. And Braum being the final pick of the match, even though he's usually a ban.
Yeah. Braun's had a little bit of tweaks, but he's still really strong in lane.
And his lane phase is bad, but his team fight's really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and considering he's going up against a Soraka Graves, he's not going to be too pressured. So it's going to give Vayne a little bit of time to farm, I think.
For sure.
Lucky.
But I will say this. In a 2v2, I like you guys. You're crazy. But I like you. Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks. That's
I like
all compliments for me.
But Soraka Graves is a strong lane. And Vayne Braum is basically like, yeah, we're just going to have to kind of like turtle us out and
Yeah.
just... They can't initiate a fight, pretty much. If... excuse me. I head to the screen, dude. High five. Yeah. Woohoo. What was I gonna say? Purple team definitely has the advantage this game because they have the siege. With the Xerath, you've seen Alliance turn games around by just turtling at an inhibitor turret for like 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And that was actually the way that what's the team? They SK Telecom S played with EasyHoon as their mid laner. He used to run strictly Ziggs pretty much. Actually, he was like his best champion is Ziggs, and that's how SK Telecom S managed to win games all the time. Was they would turtle it out until about 45 minutes, and they'd either get like a miracle Baron steal, or they would be able to turn around a mispositioning on the siege, and they'll be able to win a team fight and turn it around. And we could see that possibility because all it's going to take is one good Moonfall Glacial Fissure combo with all the damage from the Rise and the Xerath coming out on top of them. And then, of course, the Vayne tumbling around to clean up the fights. So, could be an interesting game.
Yeah. Should be fun. Let's see, honestly, if I'm blue team in this position right now, you got a strong early jungler. You've got lanes that are probably wanting to win lanes. If they can press this and put red behind, they're in good spot. But I think if red team is actually able to keep even in lanes, I think they have a little bit of that late game potential.
Yeah. Especially when you have Lee Sin, who's like you were saying, a great early game jungler.
Mm-hmm.
Against a Diana who doesn't have a reliable gank until she hits level 6. Where it's just point and click and then you have a slow and all that stuff. But I'd like to take a moment to talk about the T-Force podcast because they're the guys that allow us to put this on all the time.
Uh-huh.
And we somehow still have jobs doing this.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how I still get asked to do this all the time. But they're a great group of guys, and you should just check out the website, trinityforcepodcast.com. Right there on the front page, you'll see links to all 3 of the podcasts, the Proper, the Rundown, and the Oslo. And you'll get your audio fix of League of Legends action right there. But on that note, I'm ready to get this game started.
All right. Well,
Let's
we are
see.
going to the loading screen here pretty soon. So
We're going to load screen.
yeah.
Yeah, and I even have my Battle Arena one up, not my Bronze Boot Camp.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
it.
I was prepared. Put me in, coach.
Let's do this.
Oh, client's not responding.
Client, please. After all this work.
Hold on.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Do you see that? Actually, I didn't want to say anything because I thought he would change it at the last second. But Xerath's running Barrier
Interesting.
in the mid, even though I don't know. I don't like Barrier.
Well, okay, I guess I should ask, against a Malzahar matchup, is Barrier a better pick because you can use a wall suppressed?
You can use heal wall suppress too.
Oh, I was told you can't. I was
Yeah, you
lied
can.
to. Oh, well, let's...
I'm pretty sure you can.
I don't know. I guess on Xerath in particular, heal's a pretty good summoner spell. It gives you a little bit extra mobility, and when somebody closes the gap, kind of useful.
Your one mobility is flash, so
Yeah.
that's the problem with Xerath is he has no reliable escapes.
Yeah.
And especially in a meta, like I don't want to say that we're kind of in like this assassin meta again, but we're getting there. And that actually makes me excited because that's my champion pool is assassins, yo.
Yeah. So it looks like, yeah, they Riot decided to kind of let the assassins out of the gate just a little bit. We'll see if we get to see some really good plays at Worlds. I'm kind of excited for that.
I just want to see Ari again at Worlds.
Yeah.
Ari Zed comeback. They actually had slated PBE buffs for Zed, and then Dade played him in OGN, and he was played in NA by I think it was Pobelter,
hmm
and they reverted the buffs and made him nerfs.
They're like, oops, we've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah. Look at the barrier amount versus heal amount.
Okay, well, with heal, you got to keep in mind, too, you can heal two people. And when you
Yeah.
are trying to save people, that's super amazing. And you also have to calculate in the inherent utility of heal, which gives you mobility.
Yeah.
And if you can use that, too, you can use that as an aggressive summoner spell, too. If you're trying to close a gap, 1 extra second of additional mobility can mean a great pick or a great escape.
Yep.
And that's why heal is so popular, especially like at the LCS level, is because it's a great tool.
Oh, we have a pause already coming out. Cool.
Oh no.
Always. It's not like how we say it's not a VG tourney without
A pause.
a pause. It's not
Yeah.
a battle arena without a pause.
Okay, someone just got to reconnect. Apparently, they had a little bit of issue loading in. No big deal.
I'm not even gonna take the items off the screen.
Don't even care. Oh yeah, this is.
It's
I'm
a
so.
3-minute delay with another 30 seconds on top of it, and the
Yeah.
fact that there's because the one time I don't even know who I was casting with. He went away from the screen, and it was like right at the beginning. I think it was Cereal Box. I'm not sure, but it was like two people bought like Doran's rings, and that was it.
Yeah, they just pause.
And he switched to a different screen. It was funny, but it just a quick reconnect, so nothing too major.
Yeah.
Have they changed barrier yet to protect for more yet, or is that next patch? I think this is the patch that they changed it.
Yeah, they did.
lowered the numbers on heal and barrier. I don't know. I didn't listen to the podcast yesterday. I was at work.
Yeah. Heal still just has utility, and you can heal other people, which makes it just an amazing spell. I mean, if they
That's why I
continue to
like
curtail it, if they continue to like curtail it and make barrier better, you might see some changes on what summoners are picked. But right now, heal's still really amazing. Not saying that barrier's not a horrible spell for Xerath to have. This isn't a Xerath who took Ignite in the lane, which Xerath shouldn't be really taking Ignite in the lane because he's not wanting people to be next to him. So,
Yeah.
barrier's still a good choice. It's not the worst one in the world.
Better
Don't
than
get
Ignite.
stung.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Better than Ignite.
Not much going on here at this point. It's a quick invade. Sonic Wave
Yep.
lands. His mind's telling him no.
Yeah, but his body's still.
Body's
yeah.
telling him yeah.
So we're just seeing the standard starts here going on right now. Just a little bit of standing off right now. People taking some buckshots to the face. Good ward coverage is always good in the early levels. Rise, you're doing a good job there. You're kind of guarding that red buff for the ever potential cheese that can happen with dealing with any sort of jungling. So good job, Rise. I like you.
Yep.
You too, Nidalee.
Oh, Silent Lane's another Q.
Minions have spawned.
You should just go for it one of these times.
Yeah, just go in and walk away, and I was like, whoa, wait, what? What just happened here?
What? Interesting. Soraka has already leveled heal. Even though you're going to want to shove the lane early against... You want to get Vayne Braum underneath the turret very quickly.
Yeah.
And especially with Grave Soraka, you're just going to be able to take Star Call at 1 with Buckshot.
Uh-huh.
And get the early 2 and pressure. So, it's interesting. See, across the board, Arcana Pulse taken by Xerath at level 1 in the first lane. Is healer barrier better? Heals better because of the utility.
Yeah. Heals better. If they continue to change it, even like in a solo lane situation too, I mean, heal could make or break a jungle gank. If you've got a 2v2 in the mid lane, it could just completely change everything. You give your jungler some extra mobility, or you give them the health to escape from a bad turnaround, all that stuff. Heals just has that sort of X factor that can just turn everything around, and it's amazing. You should always be taking heal if you need a defensive summoner. Barrier's fine. It's not going to kill him in lane. It robs him, I guess, so to speak, of that extra utility. And there's that bot lane getting that good shove going on. Get that early level too.
This is bronze to gold with a mix of players.
Yeah.
I forgot that it's not in the title because they usually just say, "Oh, well, look at the title," but it's not in the title. I done goofed this time.
Done goofed.
I did done goof. Soraka and Graves playing this exactly the way they should be. Playing super aggro at this point. Braum's going a little bit too hard. Exhaust is going to come down. Concussive blows didn't get triggered. Rise is going to be in trouble here in the top lane though. His flash is still up. Rune Prison's going to come through. Nidalee's going to pounce a couple more times. Q from Lee Sin is not going to land. The Nidalee spear misses. Santana Champagne is going to come in from the side, forcing the flash out of the Nidalee. Lee Sin's going to flash up stop, and a bunch of summoners burnt early on in this lane so far, and it's not done yet, but
Yeah.
they say that he's going to be done, so...
Yeah, done for now. Rise and go back home, but his flash is now on cooldown. That's kind of big. Lee Sin can just kind of show up that lane whenever he pleases a little bit later and just shove him out again. He's not going to have that flash to help him escape, which he held on to it, which isn't necessarily a bad concept, but maybe burn it a little bit sooner if you're going to be taking a lot of free damage.
Nidalee's actually, I just noticed that Nidalee's going AP Nidalee in the top.
Oh, interesting.
With the Doran's Ring and the 13 AP upon that. I'm interested to see how this is going to work out for him.
Yeah.
So Santana is taking a bunch of that execution shove from the top lane.
Yeah.
He's going to come back with a tier, and the stun lane's in the mid lane, but he doesn't have mana to follow up on anything. So, at this point, first back's coming through. Why is my mouse being so funky? Stop. Whatever. I'll just let Directed Cam do its thing.
Yeah.
Yeah! Directed Cam. But Rise already has this tier up in the top lane, and he's going to start stacking it, and he's going to start scaling right now.
Yeah. So, good early pickup for him, so even though he did get ganked, he went back home, got that tier, he's going to start stacking it immediately. He actually walked that back to lane too, he actually didn't teleport, so that's a good move there, I suppose. Santana was shoving out the lane, so him teleporting wasn't going to do much of anything. So he might have that here in the future for a gank.
Santana's coming down to the bottom lane, but Winter's Bite lands onto a minion, and they're going to deter the aggression. Because they saw the ward, or the ward was in the bush. Braum's taking a bunch of free harass. When Braum's walking up, he's taking a bunch of free harass in this lane. He really needs to sit back.
Yeah, you gotta be really calculated with those winner's bites. Now that his mana management's a little more severe, missing those are gonna cost you more in these lanes. Especially when you've got a mana battery like Soraka.
Yeah, especially when you have a mana battery like Soraka. Vayne maxing silver. Yeah, that's right. He's maxing silver bolts. I kind of had to take a look at it. You always want to max tumble on Vayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Tumble's really good. Having that low cooldown, it gives you the ability to escape a lot of skill shots and get you out of trouble.
That
and also it's an AD.
Auto, or it increases your auto attack damage.
Yeah.
It's an auto reset. And W is just for percent health, and it's not that good in the early lane.
Yeah. Yeah, percent health against like fellow marksmen's not great. Her percent shred's really good when you start hitting those team fights and you need to get rid of a tank.
Should be maxing W second, not first though.
Yeah.
I knew a guy that he was a good Vayne player. Like his mechanics were good, but he just relied upon his auto attack skill, like his orb block, not his tumbling. But
right.
He would max W and then E.
Interesting.
And I mean, he wasn't like groundbreaking and such on how to play her, but he had his own way to play that champion, and he built Utmost Impaler and tank, so it was an interesting build concept.
That is, yeah, that's all right.
I just prefer the Blade Yomus in the bottom lane. And Diana's coming. Diana is 6, but that ward still catches them out.
Yeah. And Vayne Braum aren't really going to be able to follow up with anything. Braum's own Vayne's really low. So if Santana goes in...
Soraka Graves will beat it to 6. Silence comes through. Crescent Strike comes in. Not much going on at this point. It's just a boring lane phase because nobody's doing anything. They finally sweep the brush. About time.
But those early ward pickups of Soraka actually really paying off. In this lane. You kept them very safe. Which, good job there. You don't normally see supports that just go double wards in lane. Oh, here we go, got gank.
Oh, here comes the Sonic Wave coming in. The Flash and the Hook is going to come through. Silent is going to be able to pick up the first kill in this top lane on the Rise. Great gank coming through because I don't think he didn't have a ward up on the top side.
No, yeah, he took the nice route around where Rise had no vision.
Rise is sitting on a pink. I figured he would have placed it in the tri-bush by now.
Yeah, wards don't do anything unless you place them, and having a ward in that area right there is really good.
Mod Brett, congrats, dude. Congrats on you, kid. You beautiful girl.
Oh, that's amazing.
She likes the colors. That's pretty cool, actually. What was I saying? Oh, pink. If you're gonna have a ward, it's not useful in your inventory. You actually have to place it on the map. And what's the first thing he does when he gets back to lane? Just
pushes
kidding,
the lane?
That's Diana's.
Yeah, that's actually Diana's ward. She went in and put some vision in.
That's actually Diana's pink ward, so.
Yeah.
Santana, like, hey dude, I got your back, yo.
Yeah, I got your back.
Shoving.
Yeah. So, Santana doing a good job there. Like,
Bonesaw with the flash. Unnecessary in that situation.
Yeah, didn't need it. What do you think about the early blasting one on Malzahar, as opposed to like a Chalice or anything else?
Well, standard mouse build these days is like you rush Leandries, and then you go Death Cap.
Gotcha.
So maybe he's just gonna go Death Cap first, but
at least he's sneaking in.
Bottom lane again is if he lands the Sonic Wave, kick is off cooldown. He's gonna come in. He's gonna set him up perfectly. Dragon's Rage is gonna come through. Glacier comes in and hits on the members. Nate is gonna go low on the backside. The heal is gonna come through. Soraka Flash is being burned. Zera's gonna come in and he's gonna try and land the ultimate. Graves is gonna take one too many turret shots, but he's gonna be fine. And there's a bunch of flashing health bars. Both Diana and Vayne escaping with less than sub 50 HP. It's up 30.
Ooh.
But
Good
Xerath
snipe there.
roamed down to the bottom lane and picked up the kill. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
My observer skills are really bad. This is why I just shoutcast. Yeah, but
So-
Malzahar's doing I do want to say that since I do this a lot, especially if I know that it's going to be like a Xerath roaming, it's going to take him a while. Malzahar did a good play in the mid lane by just shoving it out and getting it to the turret, especially since he's Malzahar and he puts his turret as fast as a mother trucker. So he's going to be able to shove that in fairly quickly. He's going to pounce up on his top lane. Prison's going to come through. He's going to take aggressive. Back in. Pounce is going to commit. One more shot's going to land. Can he get the spear?
Doesn't have the mana,
Have the
no.
mana. Down 30 CS in this lane. This Ryze is doing a really good job. Diana's going to flash. Get the first lunar strike onto the minion, but wasn't able to follow it through because she misclicked her ulti.
Yeah, oh no.
Bane is in a bot spot right now. She overextended a little bit. Lee Sin and Braum are going to duke it out. Punch for
Lee Sin
punch.
finding out just how tanky Braum is and decides against it.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out what Nidalee's exactly trying to build right now. You got a lot of pieces to the puzzle right now, and decided to pick up a Doran's Blade as well. So normally when you're building in lane, you kind of want to focus on something in particular.
This is really weird right now.
Yeah,
Jogger,
and,
your build is strange.
you focus on one specific item. Normally
He's
when you
gonna
take
go Triforce with that too.
okay, Triforce is not a bad pickup for Nidalee. Sheen would have been a good starting item coming out of lane. But you got double Doran's items. It's going to set you behind. I would highly recommend, as a Nidalee in the top lane, as opposed to going Doran's Ring, start with a Doran's Blade and take full advantage of the fact that Nidalee and Cougar form spells are free. And I mean absolutely free.
For sure.
Using your mana management just to kind of just use it for a little bit of harass and trying to get that hunted debuff or that buff for you.
Well, the thing is, I mean, if Ryze, it would be more use. Ryze was, if it wasn't a Ryze, if it was like a melee champion, let's just say like a Maokai. Maokai in this situation. Since he's starting to become a more popular top laner,
Ward.
But Nidalee's gonna pounce in real quick. But as I was saying, like against a Maokai, Maokai might not be the best example because if you use your passive skills, oh my gosh, the pound's coming through. He's going super aggro onto it. But if you use your mobility to dodge saplings, I don't even know what a top line Maokai maxes to you. Is it?
I would still say Arcane
Sapling, or
Smash.
do they do Twisted
Arcane
Smash?
Smash. I think Arcane Smash is what they max in
Oh
lane.
really?
Yeah.
That's, okay.
It's good for wave clear, and it also has some good damage on a low cooldown. Helps with trading. And then Twisted Advance Knife. So I don't think they max
Oh, that
Sapling.
Graves burst though coming through. Now you see it, now you don't. That's why Graves is a popular carrying pick once he gets that BF sword.
Yeah.
You just quick draw in, buckshot, hit the collateral damage, and then of course finish it off with the auto attacks before anybody even knows what's going on. So
Yeah, so never underestimate the power of Graves Burst, especially when he's coming back in the lane with a pickaxe and a BF sword.
he's sitting on like another 13 right now, and after the strike, he's gonna have it.
That's a
Swift also
very
coming through. Gonna land a couple shots.
Yep. Not be able to get much out of it, but Injustice kind of flexing its marksman muscles right now. Taking full advantage of this lane, and that's exactly kind of what you want to do as a Graves, is you want to continue just to be aggressive, especially against a Vayne who has the late game on you. You want to kind of deny that as long as
Yep,
possible.
You have to
And-
get that early game going in your favor. We're gonna see Lisa coming in from the side. Q lands, barrier's gonna come through. No kick. He had flash and kick. I'm surprised he just didn't flash.
yeah.
Insect. That Rune Prison's gonna come down in the top lane.
Yeah, normally if you want to back, don't do it in front of your opponent. They'll just walk up and throw spells at your face.
Yeah.
So Nidalee's going to go back home, pick up some items here. And
Okay.
it looks like there's that
Graves and
sheet.
Soraka should be going super aggro on this at that point. If you're okay, if you see that you're in a 2v2 lane and your support, and the support's going to clear the ward, and the AD carry is sitting back like that, you punish that. I don't
Yeah, you
care if
jump
it's a
on it.
Braum or a Sona. You go aggro AF. Final hours if it comes through. Silver Bolt Rocks are going to come in. Custom Blows is going to get triggered on the Soraka, but it's not going to be enough because Graves is just going to be able to turn this fight around. Demolish him. One more shot.
Yeah.
Graves picks up the double. He's sitting on like 2,500 gold right now, and it's bad.
Yeah, that was the right right idea. They were punishing Graves, but Graves' burst is incredible right now, and kind of just deleted Vayne. It felt like Graves was like going, yeah, I've had enough of dealing with you. Just turned it around and just blew her up, and was able to finish up that fight. Vayne not close to Blade of the Rune King just yet. Graves still has the farm and a lot of AD in his kit, and he just kind of blew her up.
He did a good job of waiting until the exhaust got through. Like the exhaust wore off before he threw out his full burst combo. And also the stand behind me. Or the unbreakable. I always say stand behind me because I think that's the one that's the shield that's unbreakable. You waited for that to be one already, but this is a nice different gank going down on the top lane. Rise lands the Rune Prison. And they had great coordination going with the Xerath to get the ulti underneath the turret while the Nidalee was just locked up. So,
yep.
Nothing she can do in that situation. Which Graves skin is that? Hired gun Graves. But I don't think anybody wants to mess with him at this point. He's got an eye edge and
a seal
at this point at 18 minutes into the game. Compared to the Cutlass double dagger of Vayne.
That's a kind of a very scary Graves. He's going to be able to delete people. If he's able to close the gap on any of these carries, they might just be dead. Again, Nidalee kind of, her build's really everywhere right now. Okay, I guess if she had not bought the Negatron cloak and just went Sheen into Blade of the Rune King, I would be a little more okay with it.
Oh, Satana did a nice job of following the double ult through. Splash Rune Prison's gonna come through, the kick is gonna come down, Zera's gonna be able to pick up the snipe. The ulti's gonna come out from Malzahar onto the Rise. Looks like an Glacial Fissure comes in. It's gonna knock up the Graves, they're gonna follow it through. Vayne's gonna come in with the Vile Hour. Satana Champagne is gonna go low and he's gonna get taken down. One more hit. Vayne, turn around and just shoot one more Silver Bolt and shoot a Giant. Graves is gonna come in. That's a triple kill. She's gonna be able to. No. Nidalee's gonna pick up the kill. I thought he was gonna turn for a Penta, but that's a clean 4 for 0 fight so far.
Yeah.
Blue. Vayne really just. I don't know. I don't like the Vayne pick right now.
No, not at all. And that was
a risky decision or a risky pick in any situation, but
yeah,
that was just kind of not so good.
Yeah, no, Graves is definitely, he's flexing his muscles, and you can tell right now in that particular team fight, he's just showing just how much damage he can do. Vayne really unsure because she doesn't want to get blown up by Graves. It's a note of concern, but if you're popping final out, you need to take full advantage of that and at least do as much damage as you can to the carry that's fed.
K-Walk, we monitor the chat while this is going on. I've got it up on my second monitor, and I'm occasionally looking at it.
Yep.
Because I don't want to miss any of this awesome action that's occurring right in front of my face.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's awesome. Like that last fight where the Vayne it just came down to the Vayne came in, and I just don't agree with the W max that he's doing at this point.
Yeah. No. Definitely Tumble's a better spell to max. If you're maxing Silver Bolts, you have to take advantage of the fact that you have to auto-attack all the time. If you're not, you're kind of sitting in the wings waiting. Literally, your Silver Bolts are doing 0 for you in a team fight.
Q coming through. He's going to start taking the turret aggro. Nidalee's going to go in. Get Rune Prisoned up, and damage is going to come through. They're going to be able to pick up the kill, and she's just going to walk out. That was a, I'd say sloppy dive, but just good enough that it picked up the kill.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they definitely picked up the kill. Good job.
Good job of counter jungling.
Yeah.
The Wraith camp, but they're going to lose the turret at the top side. Dragon's up in 10 seconds, though, so. Who knows? And Roscoe, you're my favorite now. Graves is so much fun to play, even though everybody says he's weak. play split push Graves, it's just something about that that changes your life. Red team's gonna get the dragon, but blue team's doing the great aggressive move going towards this mid lane. It's going for the turret.
Yeah.
They're gonna be able to figure it out. It's better to have the... I'd say it's worth barring how this fight's gonna go, because, well, it's gonna go really well, because Graves is basically untouched in the back of the fight. Oscar's gonna be going to flash out. Graves already has burnt his ultimate, but it's a 1-4-0 at this point. And Vayne's gonna go, wow, nice damage.
Wow.
The silver... I don't know, but he hits the static shift to pick up the kill. Oh my gosh! Dude, I'm gonna let it back. Cause like, my cursor's just being really weird. I don't know what it is, but Italy actually gets a turret top side. So this is like the 6th chapter in the Book of Worth.
Yeah, the Book of Worth. If you are in a situation where it's too dangerous to kind of face track a dragon and your lane's pushing mid, just go take mid.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's not great to give up objectives like dragon because they're on a timer and they give great gold. But on that note, if you're able to get additional objectives like multiple towers, that completely turns around the game, because while you might not have gotten dragon, you're opening up the map to do more things. The entire top side right now of Red's jungle is completely open and vulnerable. You can just shove lanes and keep pressure on their side, forcing them to stay away from those important. They have to be much farther away to keep lanes pushed, and that is important.
What they should be doing at this point is they should have a ward on Baron. And oh my gosh, that one crit.
Yeah, in the...
Bane's gonna get ulted by the Graves, and it's gonna be a kill picked up by him. And that's gonna be a double, actually, after the suppression from the Malzahar wears off with the Lucian kick. Blue team has definite control over this game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But as I was saying before they managed to get a pick in the jungle was ward up and clear vision and get picks. So, they beat me to it. Because Graves is going to have enough single target damage and Lee Sin can isolate someone from the rest of his team with the kick. So, but they're going to push his bottom turret down. They're going to go for more.
Yeah, and the amount of burst that Graves has right now just means anybody who is caught out just a little bit is going to get blown up.
Sin lands the Q onto Rise, but his kick isn't back up. He would have been in perfect position to flash over and get the kick onto the Vayne into her team.
Yeah. Good siege going to be coming up here from the blue team. They're just trying to press these advantages as much as they can. Nidalee could probably split push right now, I honestly think, just to put pressure elsewhere.
Xerath went back to base because he got pushed out, so the wave clear coming out of red team for the next for the next like 30 seconds is going to be as long because he has to go back and heal up.
Yeah.
But they're just looking for a dive at this point, it seems to be. Q landed. He's already burned his ulti. The kick's coming back up, but the blue team's gonna smartly back off so that they can spend gold. Graves just picked up his Last Whisperer. He has an Infinity Edge, Static Shiv, and a Last Whisperer by 25 minutes, and Vayne just has a Blade of the Ruin King.
Yeah, if you're a red team at this point in time, you need to do everything you can to just shut down Graves. They have a 10k gold advantage, and you could honestly argue that it's all on Graves. And if Graves is unable to do the damage that he does, this is where you turn around team fight. That's where you start getting back into this game, because while you're behind, you still have the late game carries that are Rise and Vayne. And if you remove Graves from the team fight equation, you might be able to turn things around.
Sure. The problem is that they don't have like a single target kill button.
Yeah.
Like would if Lee Sin Dragon's Rages someone back into the team. Nidalee lands a spear and they throw all their damage at that one person. Or even if Malzahar Nethergrass somebody gets that suppression down. But they're gonna get a turret off of this due to blue team being positioned up in the top lane to get the inhibitor turret down. So
they're moving in. They're gonna try and flank him. It might be a little dangerous.
It is a risky move in this situation, but Red team's gonna come up from their bottom side. Malzahar's teleport is down. They've got the wave clear going. Glacial Fisher's gonna come through and miss. The Moonfall's gonna come in and not land onto anybody either. Soraka's gonna get exhausted. She's gonna get summoned up. She's gonna be the sacrificial lamb for the rest of the blue team. That's honestly not as bad of a trade.
No.
as
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be, or a fight for the blue team. So, somebody flash. Somebody just flash, because I thought I heard the flash animation.
I don't think so. I know a couple flashes were burned in that. Braum flash, Graves flash, Soraka flash in that fight. She still went down. Braum's ultimate is not necessarily the greatest initiation tool. You did a very good job trying to start that fight, but maybe hold on to it for just a couple more seconds to try and get Grave to burn his dash or his flash. Then you can catch him out.
Yeah,
If you had
because
caught
all
him
he
out
did
on
was
that
just-
Glacial Fissure,
What's that?
that would have been... If Graves had been caught out by that Fissure, that would have been a dead Graves.
Oh, if the Moonfall would have landed either, it would have been trouble for him. But Braum just tried
Yeah.
to flash right on top of him and throw the Fisher down. But it didn't work. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Graves just flashed for his flash, so they got away
Yeah.
fairly easily.
Yeah, in a situation like that, your best bet would have gone in behind him and completely just pinching him in and giving him really nowhere to move. You try to walk kind of in front of him and group up with your team, but that gave him the easy option of just walking it back out. If you were behind them, that would have given him a much harder decision to make as to where to run. And that would have given you a better opportunity to land that Fissure. So, good idea on the collapse there. You were able to pick up a kill for free for the most part. But if you guys had kind of moved a little bit better and kind of just kind of trapped them in, you might have been able to pick up a few more kills and possibly some objectives off of that.
Also, our down onto the Braum. He's gonna come through the middle. He's gonna be able to pick the first kill of the fight. Weiss is gonna teleport right on top of the entire team. Graves is gonna come in and do some damage. Lee Sin actually is the one that picks up the kill. Lily's gonna come in, one more pounce. Oh, the Zhonya's Hourglass Troll. That's gonna be a clean 5 turn on ace.
Yeah. No, Lee Sin, why?
Lee Sin, why?
You were too young. You were too young.
But that was a really good fight from the blue team to get. Well, that was okay. I will say that is probably the worst play. Sadly, that is starting to become the worst place for the red team to fight, because that is where they want to fight. They want to fight in the closed places, in
Yeah.
the catacombs of the jungle, in the tight corridors where you can land a nice Fisher and Moonfall combo. But between the Lee Sin kick, the Malzahar pool, and all the damage, and then the Graves AoE coming out, they just can't do it at this point.
Yeah. Right idea, but unfortunately collateral damage completely blew you guys up.
Yeah.
You guys, at this point, being this behind, you're looking for good picks.
If you
And
can
that,
get a good pick.
yeah.
Their vision is high. Well, both teams' vision is lackluster this game, I'll say.
Yeah.
But they did follow my advice. They did get a ward on Baron and wards around the pit at least. And red
Yeah.
team's gonna start up a Desperation Baron, but they don't know that ward's in the pit because the pink ward can't see it. Let me
Oh
show
no. Pink ward,
you. Let me
please.
show you your vision real quick. Here we go.
Baron's doing a lot of damage. Vayne, gotta get off Baron.
Bane needs aggroing Baron. She's gonna get taken down by the Soraka with the help of Baron by himself. Red team's gonna be on the street for this fight. The sun's gonna come through. The wind is gonna come down. Nidalee is gonna pounce through. The exhaust is gonna come in. They're gonna run for their lives. Lee Sin's gonna get the Q. Sonic Wave. Where did Diana go? Oh, she dove back into the team.
Yeah. Just trying to stall him just a little bit longer. When you are starting Baron and the blue team or no, enemy team is responding, get off Baron immediately. Especially if you're behind. Vayne's help bar was
Especially
completely
if there's
chunked by
super
Baron.
minions in your base right now, taking down your Nexus turrets.
Yeah. That was
That's
not
gonna
a
be the
situation.
first turret going down.
Yeah. And they've got nobody who can really defend this at this point. They're trying to run away, and
Yeah.
blue team's going to continue this chase, because why wouldn't you?
Uh-huh. The team is going to push up the top side. Graves is going to burn down the turret.
No, look at that
Vayne
man.
run that way? That is a good question. Why did Vayne run that way? The world may never know.
We'll never know.
Yep. Someone's going to come through. Bonesaw has been way too early on his flashes all game long.
Yeah. You don't need to be that scared, Bonesaw. You've got a lot of heals and utility at Soraka. You've got your talisman. Use that first.
A lot of red team's problem is their team comp. They all have late game laners. Yeah, that's true. And blue team did a really good job of countering that by early game pressure and just demolishing lanes. So, yeah. Although Diana was the first rotation of picks, so
yeah.
I don't blame it on the Diana. I blame it on the rest of the team around them. Not lanes that could be okay in a 1v1 situation.
Yeah, and that's a matter of understanding kind of not only what you can do in your role as a marksman, a support, a mid, or a top laner, is also understanding that, like, in situations like this, when you have a jungler who needs time to ramp up, having a marksman who can be vulnerable to not only ganks, but just being shoved and bullied in a lane, you're not going to get that jungler support, and it's not the jungler's fault either that they can't help you. Junglers are meant to assist lanes, yes, but when you're running a situation with Diana who needs time to ramp up, maybe you should be picking a safer laner like a Caitlyn. Other top laners that can kind of fare well. Ryze wasn't in such a bad position. He was able to farm A-OK, even after Lee Sin gank, so he did fine there. But if you're going to get bullied hard in lane, there's really not a lot you're going to be able to do, and you either have to play super safe and not give up a lot of kills, or try and make some plays on your own.
The Glacial Fisher is going to catch. He's going to be able to concentrate the wall. All the Graves AoE comes in. This is a buckshot, collateral damage from the base, and damage to Bane's going to be kicking the entire team. This is going to be a whitewash. The Bane's going to come in. Some auto attack now. Next silent hits up against the wall. Bane's going to go low. Yaga is not going to get taken down. Smokescreen comes in, is blocked. And only one casualty for the red team at this point.
Yeah, they just don't.
Not all the AP is the problem. There's no such thing as too much AP.
No, not at all. I think the biggest problem is they just don't have the damage right now to deal with the blue team. They had a great pick. They weren't able to take out Nidalee. And at the end of the day, Graves just turned around and said QR, and they're like, we have to go. That's too much.
I'm sorry, but we have to get out of here.
But we must leave.
I must go to my home planet.
Yeah. Blue team's winning because Graves can just show up and just auto-attack things and they blow up. Bye, Soraka. It was nice knowing you.
Aggressive. There's no reason to hold there. Yeah, I guess it was just to get the one catch, which they've been trying to work on all game long, but it's too late for the one catch. At this point, I probably would have just thrown in the towel. I honestly would have thrown in the towel at this point.
Yeah, gold lead's pretty substantial. If you're able to get a pick, not able to convert a kill, and they're able to turn around and just press a couple buttons and completely shred your life bars, you're in a bad situation. No doubt about it.
Yep. Seems like every podcast they say your juggler's not responsible for winning your lane. You are.
Yep,
But
you are absolutely correct.
if you have a trash laner like Vayne against the Graves, Vayne does bad in the early lane. That's when Graves excels, especially once he gets that first BF sword.
The saying was kind of made, and kind of the story behind that is you have to take into account that when you are working in a situation where you get counterpicked in lane, which Graves against Vayne, Graves does well against Vayne in the early game because that's what Graves does. You have to play the lane accordingly. You have to play the lane accordingly. And you're dealing with a jungler who's not going to be able to help you and capitalize on that heavy aggression. You have to play safe and try and be as even as you can in lane. Graves got ahead because red team tried to go aggressive in situations where they thought they had the advantage. Graves turned around and did an unexpected amount of burst and killed Vayne a few times. Key things to keep in mind when you're in any lane is...
The flash, he gets the kick going. But he's going to get taken out for it. He's going to come through. Vayne's going to be able to pick up her second kill of the game. Ulti goes down onto the Ryze from the Malzahar. Not the ideal target. But It's just one kill at this point. Electric Fisher's gonna come in, land one person on the knockup. The exhaust comes down. He's gonna take the turret aggro. Nidalee is not going hard at all. The Malefic Visions is gonna come in and do some work. Picking up a triple kill for the Malzahar. Ulti comes in. Xerath, one more shot. Pick up a kill. Nidalee starts pouncing in. Meanwhile, super minions.
Yeah, meanwhile, super minions are just going to be way too many.
Super minions.
Way too super. But yes, back to what I was saying earlier. If you're in a situation where like you get counterpicked in lane, or you are just being outplayed, it is not the jungler's responsibility nor priority to make sure you're winning that lane. They can, in fact, help. Yes, that's something they can do. But ultimately, if you get counterpicked and you're getting shoved hard in lane, just play lane safe. The best thing you can do is to try and stay as even in farm as possible, and just survive and not give them advantages.
All the structures before you can get the 11 turret and the 3 inhib.
Yeah.
You should be able to get it for the. Nope. So that is a bunch of minions that were at the base.
Yeah.
Nidalee's just gonna kite this out.
Yeah, it's Nidalee. You're just gonna hop around, be nimbly bimbly.
Next, well, 1,000 HP. They're gonna be fine for a little bit, but what do you do in this situation? Of course, you go for a mirror.
Yeah.
And
You gotta have the cool purple runes running around your body. You gotta go and get those
purple buff
inhibs.
going on, dude.
Yeah, a purple buff. Alrighty. So yeah, blue team's very much just gonna shove this in. Not much to say at this situation. Blue team just got ahead with their early game champions and completely dominated the game.
All three inhibitors are back up. It's not an ideal situation for the blue team, but they're just going to be able to push through these.
Yeah.
They're going to grab a couple of minions while they're through the base. It's going to be able to get the first kill of the fight on this is just going to be cleanup through after this. Slow's going to come in. Bane's one hit away from dead. Tsunami is going to get taken down. No, he doesn't, but Grace is just going to head the Nexus down. Be able to pick up the kill, and that is the first game of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well played by both teams.
Yeah.
And we'll move on to the second game real quick. I just wanted to say that in chat they are talking about the bottom lane, and that is true. Graves does such a good job of snowballing off the early mistakes.